So you're hyped for the A1200 from Retro Games Limited, right? You've pre-ordered it, you're all set, and it's not arriving until June 2026. It won't arrive in time for Christmas for you or that retro computer fan on your Christmas list. It doesn't have to feel as though the Grinch stole your Christmas, and stop. Put that Amazon gift card down. Just because the A1200 won't arrive in time for Christmas doesn't mean you're out of options. Retro Games has a ton of other fun products that you can actually get right now and enjoy almost immediately. Hey, if you're new here, I'm retroCombs, and I've purchased almost, as you'll see, every RGL computer. I'm reviewing the entire lineup in chronological order to help you decide which one is a perfect nostalgic gift and which is just a plastic paperweight. For each computer, I'll match it to the original inspiration, share five fun experiences for each device, and we'll talk about costs so you can stay under budget. And remember, all the affiliate links are in the video description down below to help you get your shopping started. Now, speaking of getting started, let's get started with our look at the RGL computers. First up, the one that kicked it all off in 2018, the C64 Mini. The original Commodore 64, released in 1982, is the best-selling single computer model of all time. It had an incredible run, staying in production all the way until 1994. It wasn't just a game machine, it was a gateway to programming, music, and a beige-colored revolution. This recreation is, well, a Mini. It's a half-scale model. The keyboard is just for show, which is a bit of a bummer, but it looks perfect. It comes with the first version of the Joystick, which used dome switches, not the clicky micro switches we'd come to enjoy later. It also has 64 classic 1980s games built in and outputs at 720p over HDMI, a huge upgrade to that old composite input of the original. You can plug in a USB keyboard for a full C64 basic experience, but let's be honest, you're here for the games. And my top 5 Mini experiences are plugging in a USB keyboard to boot to basic, hearing the "Stay a while, stay forever" from the Impossible Mission, playing a brilliant modern homebrew like Galencia, loading your own 1980s games from a USB stick, and using save states to finally beat Paradroid. This one is readily available. Price-wise, it launched around $80 and still hovers in that range. Sometimes you can find it as low as $40, making it a fantastic low-cost collector's piece and a perfect entry point. It's a great little ornament that also plays games, and it's also a great paperweight. And in 2019, RGL fixed the Mini's biggest complaint with the launch of the C64, or as everybody else calls it, the Maxi. But don't call it that. RGL doesn't like that. This is a full-size scale recreation, and yes, the keyboard is fully functional, and it's a good keyboard, folks, with that classic C64 feel. This is one for the people who actually want to type load *8, *1 and relive those glory days. Full disclosure, I don't actually own the brown C64 Maxi. I opted for its identical twin, the VIC-20, which we'll get to next. The VIC was my very first computer, so it holds a special place in my heart. It has the same 64 classic 1980s games as the original Mini, runs in C64 or VIC-20 mode, and thankfully it comes with that excellent upgraded micro switch, the Joystick. It's a massive improvement and the one you want for that more authentic experience. The games list is the same, so my top 5 experiences from the Mini still stand, but let's add. And I enjoy booting into BASIC, so we can use that keyboard, loading a game from a USB stick, playing Boulder Dash, typing a simple program on that keyboard from an old magazine, or just looking at it on my desk. If you want more experiences, I created a whole video called 10 Cool the C64 Tips and Tricks. Link in the video description below so you can go check out that video now. A year later, in 2020, RGL gave us the VIC-20. And as I mentioned, this is the one I bought. This uses the same full-size C64 body as the Maxi, but in those glorious VIC-20 colors. The original VIC-20 from the 1970s was the C64's older brother. It had a shorter but critical lifespan. It was produced from the 70s till 1985 and was the first color computer to sell over 1 million units. It was a true pioneer. fan ear. This recreation is a love story to my first computer. Again, it has a full-size functional keyboard and can boot into VIC-20 or C64 mode, or even that game's carousel. It includes 64 built-in titles, mixing VIC-20 and C64 classics. The VIC-20 games are kind of hit and miss. Luckily, you can load better ones from a USB drive. So my top 5 The VIC-20 experiences are reliving glorious 22-column mode, typing VIC-20 basic programs with that keyboard, playing a trippy Jeff Minter classic like Grid Runner, booting into C64 mode, remember it's 2 computers in one, running a very bizarre music visualizer called Psychedelia, and just admiring that glorious white and brown color scheme, thinking about a simpler time. Price is identical to the C64, around $120 to $140. This one is for the true connoisseur, and it's very difficult to find. The C64 gets all the love, but the VIC-20 fans are a dedicated bunch. If your gift recipient ever owned a VIC-20, this will be a massive home run if you can find one. Then in 2022, RGL dropped a big one, the A500 Mini. The original Amiga 500, which launched in 1987, was light years ahead of anything else on the market. The 500 series was sold until about 1992. That's when Commodore unfortunately began to lose its way. The A500 was a 16-bit powerhouse. And the A500 Mini, like the C64 Mini, is a small-scale replica but with a non-functional keyboard. However, it comes with 2 useful accessories. The mouse, a replica of the Amiga tank mouse, which you can purchase separately, and I have links in the video description below if you want to purchase it separately. And you also get the Gamepad, which is a gamepad, and again, available separately, linked down below. The A500 includes 25 built-in Amiga classics, and like other RGL computers, you can load your own games via USB, which is essential for some Amiga software. The included game list is stacked, and my top 5 experiences for the Amiga Mini are loading your entire Amiga library from a USB stick using .adf or WHDL load files. This is like the #1 feature, folks. Number 2 has got to be close with using the MiniMig hack to get a full Workbench environment running. I've got a whole video on my channel showing you exactly how to install a MiniMig and get it running, and you know where to find the link. I also love using the perfectly replicated clicky tank mouse. Experiencing the cinematic masterpiece Another World is a great experience, and you can finally save states to win that game of battle chess. Price around $130 to $140, sometimes lower. This is a great gift for that Amiga fan on your list. The mouse is fantastic, and the ability to add your own games from USB, mwah. Fast forward to early 2024, RGL went even more retro with the 400 Mini. The original Atari 400, which sold from 1979 to 1983, looked like a space-age typewriter and had an awful membrane keyboard. But it and its big brother, the 800, had a fantastic game library. This Mini doesn't just emulate the 400 though, but it can also emulate the entire 8-bit line, including the 800, as I mentioned earlier, the XL, and even the XE series. This Mini recreation nails the look. It's a half-scale model, and with this Mini, thankfully, the keyboard is just for show, because who would want to use a membrane keyboard and one that small? It comes with 25 built-in games and a brand new joystick, the CX stick. This is a recreation of the legendary Atari CX40 stick with a USB plug and additional buttons to control the A400 Mini and the carousel. Oh, and it feels like the real deal. It's the star of the show, quite honestly. It makes playing the included games just a joy. My top 5 the 400 Mini experiences are using that amazing the CX stick. Seriously, it's really fun. Playing the modern 3D Homebrew Yump, playing the classic Berserk, using an external keyboard to type a basic program, and booting up the super fun space sim Star Raiders 2. Fun fact, was supposed to be the game tie-in with the movie The Last Starfighter, one of my favorite movies from the 80s. Price around $120. This is a fantastic package. The build quality is high, the joystick is a 10 out of 10, and the game list is solid. It's the perfect gift for a new or retro Atari fan. In 2024, RGL released the Spectrum. This one came out of nowhere. If you grew grew up in the UK, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum was your childhood. The original 48K model launched in 1982, and the entire Spectrum line of computers continued until about 1992. RGL's recreation is a 1-to-1 scale model of the 48K Spectrum, and it also emulates the 128K models. And yes, the rubber keyboard is fully functional. It's a bizarre, wonderful, nostalgic thing to type on. Now, I didn't grow up with the Spectrum, so my top 5 Spectrum experiences might not be yours. However, here's what I like. Typing on those wonderfully bizarre dead flesh rubber keys. Man, what a hoot. Booting into BASIC to write a BASIC program with single keystrokes for each command. You don't type the commands out. It's pretty wild. Playing Manic Miner with the CX joystick. Yes, that joystick works with the Spectrum. Playing the quirky game Bobby Bearing, and also playing the weirdly compelling game Fantis. This one is sometimes hard to find outside the UK, and expect it to be in the $120 to $140 range, sometimes cheaper. For anyone with a love for British computing, this is a must-buy. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's perfectly Spectrum. This one would make Clive Sinclair smile. Hey, and get this, as I'm recording, RGL just announced a new collector's edition of the Spectrum. It's not just a new box, it's an all-white version paying tribute to the 1 millionth Spectrum, and it comes with a matching white The Printer. Yes, a tiny little thermal printer. It also comes with a QuickShot 2 joystick and a micro drive USB stick. It's a full 1980s desktop setup. The catch? Once again, pre-orders are only open for European markets. So for all of us in the US, we'll just have to look on with extreme jealousy, at least for now. Rats. Now, RGL, if you want to send one to me for a review, I'll be happy to do that. You know how to contact me down below. And that brings us to RGL's very latest release. In 2025, the C64 Mini Black Edition. And it's not just a new paint job. And by the way, Commodore never released a black Commodore 64, so I'm not sure where the inspiration for this one came from other than black is pretty cool. The good news is the Mini now includes the upgraded clicky micro switched joystick, which is a huge upgrade over the original's dome switch model. Another upgrade, it now uses a modern USB-C port for power, much appreciated. But the biggest change is the game lineup. RGL removed the 64 classic games and replaced them with 25 modern and really outstanding homebrew games. This makes it a totally different experience for a different audience. It's for people who still follow the C64 scene and want to play games that push the C64 to its limits. My top 5 Black Edition experiences are playing the incredible platformer Sam's Journey, which is worth the price alone, checking out the Metroidvania-style Steel Ranger, really enjoy playing that one, playing Galencia, again, because it's just that good, diving into Metal Warrior Ultra, and loading games from .crt, .tap, or .d64 files stored on a USB drive. Price for this one is higher than the original, around $120. You're going to be paying for some of those licenses for those homebrew games, but again, well worth it. Still not sure if it's worth it for you? Well, I recently hosted a full unboxing live stream, which you can check out with, again, link in the video description below. But my take is, if you're a modern C64 fan, this is the Mini to get. If you just want 80s nostalgia, save a few bucks, get the original. And there you have it, the entire Retro Games Limited lineup from 2018 to now. Which one is right for you or makes a great gift? I'll summarize in just a minute, but if you want to see more RGL videos, hit that subscribe button down below, send a thanks if you really enjoyed the content, and remember, you can become a channel member by using some fun Commodore-inspired levels I have down below. Become a part of the retroCombian community, and you'll know what that means when you look at the different membership levels. As I mentioned earlier, you'll find all the links to start your purchases for these items down below. Using those links also supports the channel at no extra cost to you. Did I miss a classic game or experience? Post those down below in the comments. I'd love to read your recommendations and respond to them. Now, which device is for you? So here's what I think. For the 1980s nostalgia fan, get the original the C64 Mini. It's readily available and it's perfectly priced. For the modern C64 homebrew fan, get that the C64 Mini Black Edition. It is sweet. For the hardcore Commodore fan who wants a full 8-bit experience, get the C64, the Maxi, or the VIC-20 if you can find it. For the 16-bit Amiga fan, get the A500 Mini and pre-order that A1200 for the full 16-bit experience to come next year. year. Now for the die-hard Atari fan, get the 400 Mini and a good USB keyboard. Combine that with the CX joystick and you're going to have a blast playing those old Atari games. And for the British retro fan, get the Spectrum, of course. And make sure you purchase the Gamepad to make the carousel navigation even easier. Remember, you can purchase that separately. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any one of these. They're all brilliant, high quality, and scratch that nostalgia itch. They're also great if there's a system you didn't experience back in the day but want to give it a shot now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, I have a whole Retro Games Limited playlist right here. That's it for me. retroCombs out.